before we head out, I should take a quick look at what we've got. Thing is, I actually rarely get that much groceries. Like if I'm on a fat loss phase, which I am right now, I try to keep my cupboards somewhat bare on purpose, just because then the temptation isn't there. But we're gonna go to the grocery store anyway. Let's go. So in this video, we're gonna be doing a grocery haul, an actual real one this time. I promise, it's not a troll. So a couple months ago, you guys know I posted that video with bro Jeff going through and spewing all his nonsense. And a few people commented on that video and were like, oh, I'm a little disappointed. I wanted to see an actual grocery haul, like what you actually get on a trip to the grocery store. So that's what I'm gonna do in this video. My primary goal right now is fat loss. So I have entered a bit of a caloric deficit. My calories are just about 2,500 calories a day, which actually does have me slightly losing. Now, I think I'm more active now than I've been in the past. Like Rashaun and I are playing basketball like all the time now. So I'm a little bit more active, but I'm happy to be losing very slightly on that caloric intake. And because my deficit is relatively moderate or really quite small, my training performance in the gym is still really good. And I feel like I'm really in a groove with both my training and my nutrition. I go in the gym, give it my honest best effort, and then I almost feel like I owe it to myself to be accountable with my diet as well. It's almost like if I'm putting in all that effort in the gym, then I better make sure that my nutrition is on point as well. When it comes to optimizing your approach, you can do it intuitively, especially if you stick to, the same meals for the most part every day. But ever since the new year came around, I've been pretty meticulously tracking. For me, that just means tracking my caloric intake and setting a protein minimum. So like I said, I'm at 2,500 calories and a minimum of around 200 grams of protein per day. And then for carbs and fats, I actually don't track those too closely at all, but I do make sure I hit a fat minimum of around 60 grams per day. And I try not to let it go over around 80 grams. But other than that, I kind of just let them fall where they may. Another thing I have been doing is just building consistency with my meals. One way I've been doing that is having the exact same pre-bed meal. So I know that no matter what, I've always got this last meal before I go to bed to help me finish my macros, so I won't have to go to bed hungry or anything like that. So I'll probably share some more details on that when we actually get in there, and I'll check in with you guys over in the grocery store. Let's go. Do you see the coin? This is one way to not draw attention to yourself.
I know, right?
Did that look cool?
I saw that.
Okay. Pull it in like that and clamp it in between your thumb. So when you look at it like that, it looks like it's gone. You see that? But it's actually in there. So it's like, you go like that.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah.
So, got a few bananas. I wouldn't say I eat a banana every day, but I probably eat one every other day. So I'll get 3. 2 that are quite ripe and 1 that isn't quite ripe yet. They look like clementines, but in the pic, it looks like a grapefruit. False marketing. But yeah, clementines usually have these like pre-workout. I always have some kind of fruit pre-workout, and I eat a lot of fruit in general. I'm not like the biggest veggie guy in the world. Like, I know vegetables are really important, and I eat my kale salad every day, but I try to eat more fruits than most just because they're super nutritious as well and really high fiber and a lot tastier. So I usually stock up on some blackberries and some raspberries. Blackberries are actually a really great source of fiber. Like, I think per gram out of all the berries, blackberries is the highest in fiber. So I'll have these before I go to bed sometimes just because they're super filling for such a low caloric value. Blueberries, included those in my video on superfoods. Always stock up on those. And occasionally I'll just get some mixed fruit just to switch it up. So today I'm gonna get cantaloupe. Cantaloupe is a really great source of vitamin A. Just in general, you wanna get fruits and vegetables of a bunch of different colors, throughout the week. So cantaloupe's one of my favorite, and I like to get this prepared just because if I get the whole melon, I'll honestly probably just be too lazy to cut it up and it'll go bad. Slim pickings here at nighttime. Honeycrisp is my favorite type of apple at the moment. So I'll get a couple of these. Again, I switch up my fruit sources a lot, but I always eat some kind of fruit pre-workout and then usually a bit more before bed. So I just stock up on a mix every week. This is another fruit I love. I don't think I'm gonna get it today because they look a little sketchy, to be honest, but Asian pears. Have you ever tried these, bro? Yeah, I love Asian pears. They're super juicy. Not the most nutritious fruit, but they're really filling. But yeah, I'm gonna leave those for today. Oh, is that what I think it is? It is not. So I'm looking for kiwis. I don't think they have any here. This isn't the grocery store that I normally shop at, and it's nighttime, so it looks like things have been picked over a bit. But I normally do include sun gold kiwis here. I've been eating sun gold kiwis lately just because the regular green ones are out of season right now. So we're going with the sun gold ones, but they don't have any here, so I'm gonna have to go to another spot for those. Yeah, I definitely don't see them. I'm a little offended. Let's keep it moving. So this is the salad I usually get. So I get the sweet kale salad mix with the poppy seed dressing and pumpkin seeds, and then I just mix in a little extra spinach to get a little extra green action in there. I remember from like an old Greg Plitt video, rest in peace to Greg Plitt, by the way, he gave the advice, I think it was Greg Plitt, that you should spend the majority of your time in the grocery store on the outsides. So like, don't spend too much time going down the aisles and stuff, because that's where you're gonna hit all the processed food. I actually think that's pretty good advice. When I come to the grocery store, you know, I tend to start with the fruits and vegetables, then go to the lean meats, and then kind of work my way down the frozen and the aisles after. Nothing wrong with that stuff, it's just, you know, that shouldn't be the focus, so that shouldn't be the place you start. As far as meats go, I actually wouldn't say I eat a ton of meat. I probably have maybe one meal per day that contains meat, and usually it's ground turkey or ground chicken. So I haven't eaten red meat in quite a while. Like, I'll probably only have it maybe 2 or 3 times a year for ethical reasons as well as health reasons. So I do try to somewhat limit my meat intake, but I haven't been able to totally limit it altogether. But when I do get meat, I usually try to go for the free run or free range options, which I'm not seeing here. So hopefully I'll have some luck. So ground turkey. It's not the leanest ground turkey in the world. Per 20 grams of protein, 8 grams of fat, which is okay. You can get leaner stuff in the States, but I'm gonna get this for now. I just find with the lean turkey also, it's a little easier to prepare than like whole turkey breast. I just find with this, I can throw it in the pan, mash it up, and then throw it in a Tupperware, and I've got it for, you know, 3 or 4 days worth of meals. And I just put this together with rice, which we'll get in a minute. And then that's a super easy, high protein, satiating meal. Atlantic salmon. So I usually have 1 or 2 servings of fish like this per week. So I just fry that up, and that's a great meal with some healthy fats. Very satisfying. Love salmon. If you guys have been watching for a while, I'm a little bit repetitive. Like, I tend to stick to the same foods, but I think that is a big part of your success as well. Like, you need to have stable components to your diet and also flexible components. And it's the flexible, you know, 20% that I'll swap in and out with whatever foods I happen to crave or want that week. I'll usually get a couple cartons of these free-range eggs. Maybe you guys can tell me. I feel like someone in my comment section will know. Would it be considered more ethical from like an animal treatment perspective to go with free-range eggs, or is that just like a marketing ploy that I've been falling for? Because I'm trying to look at, you know, my ethical contribution with regard to my diet, and I figured eating free-range eggs is better than just getting normal eggs, so I've been getting them. I do happen to find them to be higher quality as well, so it works for me. But I'm just curious if like anyone has any articles or anything that I could read on that. Obviously the best thing to do would be to cut them out altogether, but eggs have been such an important part of my diet that I am finding that difficult. So maybe that's good as like a first step in the right direction. I should say I don't eat that many eggs a week. I separate the yolks and the whites, so I'll have 1 yolk and usually 4 whites every morning. But I still get the whites from the free-range ones just because I don't personally like the consistency of the cartoned egg whites. That's just me, but that's why there's 2 cartons of eggs. So this is my new obsession, chocolatey chip EGGOs. These are so good. It's only 100 calories, well, 200 calories for 2 waffles. You can put some like 0-calorie syrup on these. It's the perfect snack. Like, if you're craving something sweet, sit down, eat it like a meal, 200 calories, piece of cake. All right, so this is a big part of my bedtime meal. I was saying earlier that one of the meals that I kind of have locked into place is my bedtime meal. So that will be a half of one of these of cottage cheese. So that's 1 cup of cottage cheese, which is 30 grams of protein. And then I have a full bag of low-fat popcorn, and usually like some blackberries and some crackers. So it's just like the most filling, satisfying meal. And it also have the added benefit of getting a slow digesting protein, so you're not overly catabolic while you sleep. I've been talking about this for a while, but lately I've really been consistent with it. Occasionally I'll throw one of these in the microwave. So I like the chicken fettuccine, lean cuisine, 300 calories, 20 grams of protein. If it's a night I'm not really feeling like cooking anything up, or if I'm just being lazy, these are actually pretty decent on the macros. Oh yeah, if you're on limited calories, This is the best Ben & Jerry's. Chocolate milk and cookies. It's so good. I actually think it's just as, or almost just as good as any of the other ones. You've got bits of cookie dough, you've got bits of brownies, vanilla and chocolate ice cream, and it's only 150 calories per half a cup. So in between meals or after a meal, if you're craving something sweet, this is another really good option. It's way better than like Halo Top or something like that, just because it's so much more textured. Even though it is slightly higher calorie, it's totally worth it for me. For rice, I just get this minute rice, just for convenience sake. So I'll take this, put it together with the ground turkey, some salsa and sour cream and shredded cheese, which I've already got all those at home. Oh, and sriracha. I'm putting that on everything lately. I'm obsessed with it. I always make sure I get some kind of diet soda, so just getting ginger ale for now. Diet ginger ale, definitely good for eating with meals, helping you keep full. Stephanie actually did a really good video on artificial sweeteners, if that's something that you're worried about or not sure about, so I can link that down below, along with a couple articles that I found to be pretty helpful in terms of weighing out like the cost benefit of artificial sweeteners, but not something I'm personally particularly concerned about. We need to get something for intra-workout, so lately I've been going with Gatorade, but I like to use like the single-use bottles of Gatorade just because they're easier to grab on the go. So I need something that can sub in for that, for intra-workout. What are you feeling? What do you think, Rashaun? 5 Alive? Ooh, 5 Alive is good. Let's check it. What's the ingredients? Filtered water, fruit juices from concentrate, and glucose fructose. That's all we want, sugar. Perfect, man, seriously. But am I realistically gonna pop out the juice box in the gym and sip the juice? I think I will. Glucose and fructose, you can use multiple transporters. I think I'm gonna go with the 5 Alive on this one. Pre-bedtime meal. Where are we? Popcorn. This has been a definite staple for my pre-bed meal. So you get a ton of volume. It takes a long time to eat. You can pick at it while you watch the TV or whatever. If you go for the low fat option, it's a super high volume meal for very low calories and super filling, great source of fiber. Definitely add this to the list if you haven't already. All right, guys, we made it back home. This is the grocery haul. So this isn't everything I'll eat in a week for sure, but we did still have some stuff. So I didn't get like condiments or bread or whatever. Another thing that I just realized that's a huge staple for me that I didn't include in this grocery haul is beans and legumes and stuff. That's because my mom takes care of that for me. So she'll make me a big pot of chili with like kidney beans and chickpeas and ground turkey, and it's absolutely delicious. Super filling meal. I have that at least 5 days a week. As for me, I'm gonna grab a quick pre-workout meal and then we're gonna go smash a full body workout. It's super late, it's 9 p.m. Normally I wouldn't train this late, but I try to go to the gym when it's not too busy for filming, and I try to go to the grocery store when it wasn't too busy. So sometimes I just gotta suck it up. So normally I wouldn't have caffeine this late, but I am gonna have some pre-workout because I said I wasn't gonna use filming as an excuse not to push myself as hard as I should be. So I'm gonna make sure I get an awesome workout. We're gonna fire up an edit. Hope you guys really enjoy it, and I'm gonna finish with the edit. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Let's go.
It's funny that we were just listening to that.